Hi there, my name's Danielle Drew. And one of the questions that I get asked all the time by my clients is, how do I get my ideas heard and remembered at work? And as a woman in business, especially if you're in a male-dominated industry, I understand it can be really hard to overcome those years of social conditioning and learn how to assert yourself in meetings with colleagues or clients. So today I am going to share with you the top 10 tips to success. I've put these together so that you can have your ideas heard and remembered every single time. Now, these strategies have worked for me personally for many years, and they've helped me to improve my visibility and influence in the workplace. I first experienced being overlooked and disregarded in business in my very early 20s when I was working in the computer industry. At that time, the industry was really dominated by men, mostly in two categories: Asian engineers and loud, ego-fueled salesmen. I was expected to sit quietly and not interrupt while the men were talking. And if I did muster up the courage to say anything, I was ignored, patronized, and often laughed at as well. It was really stressful. So I spent pretty much my whole career learning how to use my voice and be heard. And I've been really successful at it. I've gone from being afraid to open my mouth or even make eye contact to very confidently chairing business meetings, running seminars, and speaking on stage at international events. And for the last 15 years, I've been working in the martial arts industry, another male-dominated field. And I've achieved global recognition for my ability to speak and influence others. In other words, for being heard and remembered. In fact, I'm the only female executive in the company worldwide. I share this with you because I want you to know that I understand what it feels like to be silenced. And I want to give you the lessons I learned without the scars of the 25 years that it took me to learn those lessons. So let's jump into step number 1. First up, powerful body language. If you want to be heard and remembered as a valuable person in business, how you hold your body is either going to support you or it's going to sabotage you. So today I'm going to share with you 3 areas that you can target for an immediate increase in credibility in the workplace. Because strong body language commands attention and conveys confidence. Let's look at posture and some common habits that women in particular show in the workplace that really undermines them. So first up, we've got this one, and this one screams anxious, doesn't it? You might not know why, but you can tell this woman's anxious. So if we pull it apart from a body language perspective, you can see her arms crossed over her chest in a defensive position. She's nervously biting her nails, and this insecurity look is finished off by her side gaze and her nervous expression. Here's another example, one where her hands are partly across the chest again in a defensive position, and she's self-soothing by playing with her hair. In this one, her chin is also down and she's looking up with her chin down, which demonstrates fear. Now, I don't know, maybe this was intended to be enthusiastic or passionate, but what it actually says is pleading and self-doubt. This is because of the hunched shoulders, the hands in the prayer position, and that's combined with the downturned mouth and the clearly clenched jaw. Wow, this one is it's just a trifecta of doubt. We've got the head tilt combined with the chin pointing down, and finally the sideways gaze as she looks up. Now, this just demonstrates what I call little girl body language. It's certainly not confident woman. And she's even holding her own hand in a self-soothing way that also screams insecurity. So now we know what doesn't work for us. Let's take a look at some confident postures, ways to hold our bodies that say we are important and we will be listened to. Probably Not a surprise to you, but it's pretty much the opposite of everything we just saw. Firstly, your chin should be up, your shoulders back, and you should always look straight ahead with your hands being visible and relaxed. These are all powerful indicators of a confident presence. You can see the same thing happening in here. The torso, the head, and the eyes are all aligned and facing forward. Now, this is a classic power pose. This is a phrase that was coined by social psychologist, Amy Cuddy. If you put your hands on your hips, have your eyes and your chin up, your chest out, and your feet shoulder width apart, it's a really powerful way of helping you feel confident. It's also known as the Superman pose. And this is fantastic to do right before you have any kind of meeting or situation where you want to feel confident. In fact, Amy Cuddy has found that this stance literally changes our bodies at a cellular level because it reduces the amount of cortisol and adrenaline, those stress hormones, and that relaxes us. So this is how to hold your body. Now let's look at number 2, eye contact. Eye contact is critical if you want to get respect and influence people and have them take you seriously, especially in Western society. In fact, not making eye contact is very closely associated with being dishonest and untrustworthy in Western cultures. So eye contact is, unfortunately, also quite hard to do when you feel unsafe or insecure, right? Like in meetings at work or other situations where you need to show authority, but you might be nervous. And the other thing is, as women, we're conscious that if we hold that extended gaze like that, then we are at risk of either portraying ourselves as flirting or as aggressive. And both of those things can lead to an unintended confrontation situation, which we want to avoid. So let's look at eye contact errors first. Look at the lip clench in this one and the sideways eye glance. There's like this whole complex conflict happening in this face. On one hand, she wants to say something and she's holding herself back by pressing her lips firmly together. So she shows she's got this desire to speak, but she's not confident. So she's looking sideways with a very pained expression. So she wants to say something, but her body's showing she doesn't have the confidence to do so. Here's another one, downcast eyes, while sometimes cultural, in a Western culture can actually indicate lack of confidence and surety about what you're saying. So if you're looking down instead of looking at the people you're speaking to, then that can indicate that you're not confident about what you're saying. If you're not confident, people are not going to think you deserve their attention and to remember you. Finally, we have the massaging of the eyes and the looking down at the same time, both of which can indicate doubt and uncertainty. Now, none of these things are things you want to be conveying, so let's check out some confident eye contact examples. Strangely enough, chin position with eye contact is the most critical thing to be aware of. Make sure you're looking straight ahead and your chin is up, not down. See how that makes a difference? Chin up, looking straight ahead, chin down, looking up, makes me look unsafe, uncertain, and insecure. So unsurprisingly, all of the confident poses we looked at previously showed direct eye contact like this. So the next question is, how long do you actually hold eye contact before you become either flirty or aggressive and having that misinterpretation happen? Very helpfully, the Michigan State University did a study on eye contact and established this ratio when you are speaking to people. To maintain appropriate eye contact without staring, you should maintain eye contact with your audience for about 50% of the time. So you're going to be looking at your notes or your slideshow for about half the time, and the rest of the time, look at the people you are speaking to. And Once you have caught somebody's attention and you've got eye contact with them, hang on to that for about 4 to 5 seconds, no longer, and you'll be right, avoiding the flirt aggressive misinterpretation. Just to put this all into context for you, compare this same image side by side. One has open body language with relaxed hands on the desk in front, chin up, and direct eye contact. The other has hands in the prayer position, chin down, and a sideways eye contact. Which one looks more credible and confident to you? Pretty easy to tell, isn't it? Now, let's jump into the last one. Gestures. We're all pretty much familiar with this gesture, right? It's very, very clear. And that's because our hands are powerful tools to either sabotage or support you when you are speaking to others, particularly in business. Now, here are some easy to fix gestures mistakes. The begging, beseeching, open palm look. Throughout history, palms up have been associated with begging and asking for help or even for permission. It implies some kind of questions being asked. It's not a point being made with confidence. Speaking of pointing, this is another thing to avoid unless you really need to use it, because pointing can seem very aggressive and it can really turn people off and stop them listening to you. So, to appear confident, instead replace the palms up and the point with what we call the steeple. This shows confidence, poise, and certainty. And once you know this gesture, if you don't already, you are going to see it everywhere. Like here. And here. And finally, here in this collage of inarguably influential people. As well as the steeple, think about using the palms down to show authority. It's not aggressive like the point or begging like the palms up. I like to think of it as being commanding with grace. Again, take a look at them side by side. Just the palm position changes the perception of the person from imploring to commanding. So those are my top tips for step 1, powerful body language. And here they are in a handy chart for you. Now, in my She Means Business community, this is going to be in the resources section for you to download so that you've got access to it. You can just take a screenshot. If you're not in the community and you would like more information, just click on the link and you'll be taken to the community to see what's involved. So that's step 1 all wrapped up. The next steps are going to be here soon, so keep an eye out for my next video, and I look forward to hearing how much you have improved your confidence and your presence when you are speaking to people in the business world. Have a great day. Bye for now.